Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Doug Pinter. I got Steve Miner.
I'm back.
Not Miner. With Stanley Steamer and Hoagland Construction in-house this morning. Steve, good morning.
Good morning. How have you been?
Man, it's been a minute since we've been on the show and visited and caught up. I know you guys down at Stanley Steamer would be proud of my daughter. You know, we cover a lot of tricks and, staying ahead of the ball game on things such as removing the hoses from your house. My daughter's on the way to school, and she texts me from the bus just randomly in November, "Dad, are the hoses disconnected from the house?" I'm like, what the heck? I can't wait to tell my friends down at Stanley. She must watch a little bit of the show. But it's good seeing you in here. It's the holiday season, and man, you guys are busy.
Yep, we're all over the place and rocking and popping and all facets of the company.
Hey, we're not going to mess around. We're just jumping right into this bad boy Stanley Steamer. You got 2 rooms to clean for $99.
Yep.
You can do the third for only $129.
Yep.
And then as far as your furniture, you guys come in and do a deep clean on the furniture. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So typically with furniture, we clean basically anything. However, if it's a normal upholstered furniture, we're going to go through, we're going to do a dry vac on it first, try to remove any of that dirt and soil that's on the exterior, and then do the pre-treatment process and clean it up as best as possible, bringing it back to that almost new condition.
I tell you what, with the holiday season, what is today? Holy smokes, it's the 12th, Christmas, 13 days away. I'm running behind. So this is a great way. If you're running a little bit behind, you got groceries, you got a dinner to plan, or your family's coming over, that's a headache enough. No offense to my family. I love all of you. But man, I should have waited till after Christmas. Mike, can you cut that? My bad. But, everyone runs late on the holiday season, and what typically gets pushed to the back burner, it's getting the house prepared. I know I like to get all my food cooked and then get everything cleaned up, but this is where you guys can really step in and help out. And
we see both angles of the aspect. Some people want to make their house look as nice as possible when the people show up and get it all cleaned, or afterwards when everybody's came in and destroyed your house, have us come in and get it cleaned up. Either way, we can take care of it, make you guys look like champs, and make your house look amazing. So
you guys always do a fantastic job. Stanley Steamer and Steve in-house here today. I know my good buddy Mark Hoagland, the owner.
Yep.
I do want to thank Mark Hoagland. Mark's an extremely active person in the community, and he donates a lot of his time, and so do you.
Try to.
A lot of coaches over at Dunlap JFL. How'd your season end up?
It was good. The boys had a blast. It was successful like always, and more so than the win-loss column or any of that. It was fun to watch the kids grow, maturity-wise and mentally and physically and everything else that goes along with it.
I just, so my daughter is a cheerleader, and I'll get out there, and, Mark stopped dogging me about my hair and greasy
He was light
forehead.
on you this year.
Yeah, he was.
He was really light on you.
I told him I'm super sensitive in 2018.
No pink shirt comments and stuff like that.
I stopped wearing that.
Yeah.
I did bring some of the heat on myself. But the thing I really enjoy is a lot of the coaches obviously live in the Dunlap, Peoria area, giving back. It's just a great group of guys from what I can tell. I've got to know them. I run the chain gang, but all the coaches, it's not so much yelling. What I really like is they pull the boys aside, they talk to them, they coach them. They actually take the opportunity to coach them instead of just yell or run, do this or that, which in my opinion doesn't teach the kid anything.
No.
It's you guys actually pause what you're doing, you get over and you visit with them, and hopefully they don't make the same error. I know you guys had a great season.
Oh yeah, it was a great season, but you're absolutely right. Dunlap is very fortunate for the fact that there's enough coaches that they can still run the game, do everything on the normal, but there's enough people there that they can pull, the kid to the side and actually have that one-to-one development process and, say, hey, this is what's going on, and let's fix it.
I just love it. The Dunlap JFL program, I think Mark kind of spearheads some of that, correct? Yep. Mark also is a board member of the Front Nine Foundation.
Yep.
And he's also on the Dunlap Boosters. He was part of a large group that helped initiate their first annual golf outing, which was a big success this past season. So when you're thinking about who can come in and clean your house. Think about my friends over at Stanley Steamer. Again, you guys are very active in the community. You love to give back. And another thing is when you've been in my house, we've spoken about this. I thought about it the other day when I looked up at my ceiling going, it's nice not having water come out of my ceiling. The thing I really like about you guys, and this is no smoke and mirrors here, is when you came in, everyone was super cordial to my family.
Yep.
For me, I'm fine, but to my kids, you even spoke to my daughter about how you were going to repair things, assured her teddy bears and things wouldn't get hurt or injured,
Right.
during this accident. And the one thing I noticed is all of you guys never answered any of your phones when they were ringing, and your phones were ringing.
Yeah, they
and I
wouldn't
feel
stop.
like your customer service, for me, I really appreciate it because that's my house.
Right.
I live there. And my kids live there. And when you came in, you showed, you guys are all friends of mine, but that took it to a whole nother level of respect for what you guys do as a business.
Right. Anytime that we go into one of those situations, you're in somebody's home, and no matter what it is to us, because we see things on all different sizes and levels, that's your home, your castle. Things are crumbling around you, and we do our best to, no matter how many jobs we've got going on, to try to make you feel as if you're our only concern at that point in time.
I love it. And here's the thing. You guys have a bunch of you working at Stanley Steamer to allow that luxury.
Right.
So good for you guys over at Stanley Steamer. So kind of a nice way to kick the show off, get some warm, fuzzy feelings
Right.
going on your owner at Stanley Steamer, Mark Hoagland, what you guys do. You, Steve, and the other coaches within the community, hats off. Way to set an example for the younger generation as well. That's the thing I love is it's not one coach. There's like 5 or 6, and that's got to speak volumes to the kids. Love seeing the parents involved, not just the football players, but the cheerleaders. Shout out to the cheerleaders, Lori and the group. Appreciate you working with the girls. That's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and herding stray cats. I can't imagine.
My daughter will be on that probably next year, so that'll be fun too.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I just love seeing the kids grow up in the community. Hey, a little bit about Leone Polaris. We're going to cut away. This part of the show brought to you by my family members up there at Leone Polaris right here in LaSalle, Peru. Well, let me point the other direction here. There we go. We're located off the Plank Road, right off of Route 80. Super easy to get to, just north of Route 80. They got some great sales on some snowmobiles yesterday. I sat on about all of them. I was working some deals, and then I had to get going. But they also, Leone Polaris up there is a big supporter of the Front Nine Foundation, the United Stroke Alliance, and the Dunlap Boosters. So hats off to my family up there. Leone Polaris, if you're looking for any last-minute toys, check out for snowmobiles, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and your warm...
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Hint.
Yeah.
Hey, the
Christmas
one thing...
gift, I'm just saying.
Here, and they offer more than just the equipment there. They offer, chest plates that heat. So if
Yep.
you're out deer hunting, if you're out watching football games in the winter, you can go online, you can give them a call. Ask for Brian Leone and tell them Doug Pinter sent you. They'll take great care of you up there. Let's talk. Now, this is... Call out, Cam. If I can, Mike, I'm calling myself out. Everybody, I understand I'm not an expert on sports, so please save the hate mail for somebody else. Jeff Bach, Jake Turner, you two. I know you're about ready to tune into this comedy hour, so we're going to try to cover sports here the best I can. I prepped for this about 6 a.m. this morning, so football, who you follow?
Born and raised in Colorado, so I'm a big Broncos fan. No matter how bad that is this year, but
what the heck is their record? They're not even on my list.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right, let's run through the standings.
They shot their playoffs last week, so we'll move on to the next one. So it's all good.
Sooner you become
How
a
about those
Bears
Bears
fan,
fans, huh?
the better off it'll be. AFL over in the East, the Patriots sitting at 9-4. If you would have told me last year at this time of the season, the Bears would have the same records as the Patriots, I would sign up for that all day.
All right.
The Chiefs 11-2, who just got a beat the other day. But I tell you what, Mahomes is exciting to watch. He throws it down the field. He throws it left-handed. He does no looks.
I was going to say, how about he just doesn't look,
It's unbelievable. He just continues to add to the excitement. I was having lunch with my mom yesterday, I said, Mom, have you been watching the Bears? She goes, a little bit. I've been watching a lot of the Chiefs. I go, what the heck? And she's like, this guy is so exciting to watch. And Kansas City Chiefs, my buddy TJ kind of got me onto them a couple years ago. And even though they got some bad things happening within the organization, they kind of cleaned house on a player there for domestic abuse or hurting a lady. So, but the Chiefs still looking 11-2, moving in the right direction. The Steelers sitting at 7-5, leading that North Division in the AFC. And then the Texans are the silent assassins. They're always in there, 9-4. I would have never guessed. I haven't heard much about them this season.
They're just that quiet, sneak in behind, and they're a good team though. I mean,
our friends are tuning in, and my phone won't stop beeping.
It's going at it.
Over in the NFC, we have Dallas 8-5. Dallas is on a little bit of a tear right now. I feel like they're starting to click. I don't know if it was some injuries or whatnot. Zeke had a heck of a game on Sunday against Philly, who's a smash mouth defense.
Philly this year has just been not that exciting to watch, really, honestly, after last year, and you can call it the hangover or whatever. So I really expected Dallas to handle that game better than what they did, bringing it down to the wire in the fourth. So to me, I really wasn't impressed by Dallas.
Don't be a hater.
I'm just saying.
Don't be a Cowboy hater.
And,
they're on a roll right now. I think they won, I don't even want to say 3 or 4 in a row because that's probably wrong. But let's get over to the Rams. Aren't you glad they left St. Louis? 11-2, Goff and team just tearing it up.
Yeah, they're another team that's electrifying to watch, just like Kansas City. They put up a lot of points. Not a whole lot of defense going on there, but they definitely move up and down the field, that's for sure.
And I tell you what, the Bears the other night, really defensively, Bears leading the North Division 9-4, and then you got, I think, the Packers, the Vikes, and then Detroit. Packers had a win over the weekend in Minnesota, a tough game on Monday night. So I think the Bears this upcoming week, we got Packers in Chicago, the last home game for the Bears.
Yep.
I know a bunch of my friends were up at Sunday night's game, and they said the atmosphere is electric. Nothing that they've seen in the past few years.
Bears are pretty surprising this year. I mean, I figured that they would be a decent team, but it's one of those that, for the majority of the season, you've been watching them and trying to figure out if it was
what we were
fluky,
seeing,
or if it was actual. Don't get me wrong, the defense has looked amazing throughout the entire season. The addition of Khalil Mack has just put their defense at a whole nother level. But the offense, for what Trubisky's doing and the numbers he's putting up, in contention against some of the other great quarterbacks, is really impressive.
I think Cohen out of the backfield. Now we got some receivers, Robinson to throw to and that. Listen to this stat. Here's the Rams' average. They averaged 34.9 points. Bears held them to 6. They averaged almost 440 yards of offense. They handled 214 was all they could muster up. Rushing yards, they averaged about 140. They were held to 52. Giveaways on the year were 11. In that game alone, Bears had 4. I am just I cannot believe Mack coming on to the Bears. Now, the Bears defense, I think, would still be solid.
Right.
Would they be where they're at today? I don't think so. I think they'd have at least one more loss, if not 2, from all the sacks and the strip fumble recoveries, some game changers, the momentum swings that Mack brings. And he also frees up some of the other D-line to make those plays, where before that gentleman, who is it on the other end, he was getting double-teamed all the time last year. Now his productivity's coming up because Mack the other night, they had 2-3 guys on him, and he still got to the quarterback. So those teams have just got their hands full. And then you got the Saints round out the South at 11-2. They're a little inconsistent here coming the last 2-3 weeks.
Super solid, and then you're absolutely right. They were putting up big numbers. Defense was looking decent, and then don't know what happened the last couple of weeks.
Well, 'tis the season.
Flip-flopped.
Injuries start to add up, take toll this time of year. I think
weather.
Sometimes when the teams are a little bit closer to locking down, maybe they rest some of their people that might have some ailing injuries.
Right.
So here's the Bears' final games here. We got Packers in Chicago this Sunday. Pack is 5-7. Bears should win that, but this is what Aaron Rodgers does. Packers just got rid of McCarthy, which I kind of disagree on how they let go of their Super Bowl coach, but
Right.
it is a business they're running. Rodgers just scares me coming into Chicago. This is a game Chicago, on paper, should just blow
win.
out. Patrick Thompson, call out Cam to Patrick Thompson. Get over it. Your Packers are going down, Patrick. You're going to owe me a coffee on Monday morning. Just, if you want to buy out now, I'll take 2 coffees, one for Steve and one for myself.
I won't argue with that.
Then over
I'm
on
good
the
with
23rd, we got the Bears in San Francisco. San Fran's 3-10, so that's another game the Bears should take care of. And then the final game, that'll be a tough game. Bears at Vikings on the 30th of December. Vikings right now 6-6. I don't know. That's one of those teams that could, I think,
The
light it up
Vikings
in a
have been
hurry.
weird too, where if it's been out of conference play, they haven't been impressive at all. But
Steve?
any game that they've played in conference, they look like a completely different team.
See, this is why you're such an asset to the shows. You're talking conference, non-conference. I'm just struggling to get through the records. This is why I get some grief on it. So the Bears, they got sitting 9-4. I could realistically see them finishing up 11-5. I do think the loss to the Giants, I think that'll come back and haunt us for that home field advantage down the road. But, hey, the Bears are way ahead of expectations this season.
Yep.
A little bit about Tiger and Phil. Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago, but the pay-per-view, I understand the link had an issue. Everyone was being refunded the $19.99. I was one that tuned in. I had some people over to watch it. I thought it was fantastic for the game of golf. Were you able to see any of it?
I got to see a little bit of it. We were a family, for the holidays and stuff like that. But what I did get to watch, it was definitely fun to watch.
It was unbelievable.
Just the cattiness of it and everything else. It made it interesting. I think instead of stopping it at 24 holes, when it was tied up after 18, they should have said, hey, play another 9 and best out of that 9, let it go from there instead of doing the sudden death, so to speak.
The only problem with the lighting, that's, I think, one of the challenges. Tiger flew in that day for the event. Two things I took from that is, one, the coin flip. Phil, during the coin flip, said, does the winner get to keep the coin? Because it's a picture of Phil on one side, Tiger on the other. And just candidly, after Phil won the flop, he got the coin. He was visiting with his caddy as they're walking away going, did you see how I got that coin out of the rough? And then, Phil, after the event, the ceremony, the belt was actually in Tiger's size, and Phil made light of it going, oh, everyone thought you were going to win. I thought it was great for the game of golf. I don't think it tarnishes Tiger Woods, what he's done. I think it was awesome. Millions of people tuned in. I think they priced it right, and I think they set up 2 of the superstars in golf to really make this attractive. One question you had before we came on is, or maybe a statement was, I feel like that was a setup for the next.
100%.
So before we go on to the next options, one thing I loved was the commentary.
Right.
They had Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. One, if you have not seen Charles Barkley's new golf swing, go check it out. It's legit. It's square. His club face is square all the way around. The video was taken at a Topgolf. And he has a side bet for $100,000. It was made during the Tiger Phil, where all he has to do is score a 6 or less on hole number 1, and he'll win $100,000. After I saw his new swing, I think whoever he made that wager with will be out $100,000. Yeah, I mean, you had Barkley, you had Samuel L. Jackson.
How much did the new swing cost him, though?
Doesn't matter. It'll probably save him.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Does it just even it out, and he got the new swing for free because of the $100,000 that he spent to get the swing, or, how much is he going to come ahead on that?
In his mind, he'll figure it out. Pat Perez, he is one of my all-time favorites on tour. I think he had something other than coffee or water in that cup. So they did set the stage. There's talks of McIlroy versus Spieth, and or the bigger one, Koepka versus Johnson. Obviously, that Ryder Cup, there's supposedly a brawl, so there might be some publicity being fluffed into this. But regardless, there is plans to move forward on.
I think it's smart, not just for the game of golf, but from a business aspect and everything else. I think it'll be interesting.
I think any time a business can highlight and showcase their top employees or producers, why would you not want to do that? That's just, I think, just great business plan, like you said. And, golf is a game of luxury. It's the USGA and the RGA, the Royal and Ancient, are having problems with people our age and younger having time with families and things. You know, they were talking about pace of play. It was always be ready golf, and now it's 9 holes of golf, and now they're building smaller par 3 courses throughout. So the game of golf is definitely challenged in today's economy. But I do think things such as that Tiger vs. Phil help keep the fire lit with golf in our juniors. Hey, real quick, the NBA, we have the Toronto Raptors over in the East, leading the East at 22-7. Then you got the Greek freak up in Milwaukee, 18-8. The 76ers are starting to gel together at 19-9. The Pacers, Celtics are 16-10. A little surprising. I think they'll make a run. I think they'll finish at the top of the East or one of the top 2.
Right.
Over in the other division, you got the Thunder leading at 17-8. They had a little bit of a slow start. Now they're finding their groove. Warriors 19-9. Draymond Green is back in the lineup. I think you'll see the Warriors continue to move forward. Kevin Durant is having a heck of a season. This guy is a man on a mission. I'm not sure he'll be there next year. That'll be a topic for the next show. You got Nuggets, Clippers, Lakers sitting at 17-10. Who doesn't want to tune in and watch LeBron James and that crew just throw down? Over on the college side, we got about 45 seconds here. We got Kansas sitting at 8-0. My Duke, who got beat by Gonzaga over in Hawaii, sitting at 9-1 in second. Tennessee 7-1. Gonzaga sitting 9-1 after their loss. And Michigan. Go home already, Michigan. Take Harbaugh with you. Get the heck out of here. Michigan sitting at 10-0. Cubs, a couple off-season moves going on. Just a little bit from Madden. He's going to be a little bit more hands-on. You'll see him on the field a little bit more, actually coaching those kids, just like we talked about with you and Dunlap JFL. Hey, look at that. Time flies when we're having fun. Steve Miner with Stanley Steamer in-house. If you're running late on getting that house cleaned up and put that sparkle on it before you have your guests, reach out to my friends over at Stanley Steamer. 2 rooms, 3 rooms, upholstery, you name it, grout,
whatever you
the
need.
whole house, wash the car. This is the guy, Stanley Steamer. And my name is Doug Pinter on Daily Energy. Steve, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
PeoriaLife.com